Hey, it's me again. You're probably wondering where I was. Well, I've spent the last 5 days building a deck on what could only be described as the surface of the sun. At this point, I've inhaled enough pressure-treated lumber to play on the Washington Capitals.
If you need it, babe, I got you.
Okay, thank you, babe.
Love you, babe. Good luck.
And when you're going through that type of experience, your brain starts wondering about things that you're more interested in than building a deck. So when you finish thinking of ideas for supper or what to throw on the barbecue, you start to think of things like, could the Montreal Canadiens re-sign Patrick Laine? Okay, maybe that one's a little bit too over the top. But I did have some crazy thoughts that I kind of like to toy around with. So today I'm presenting to you 4 Montreal Canadiens hot takes that entered my brain somewhere between heat exhaustion and spiritual enlightenment. Let's talk about it. Yeah, so I took a couple of days off, not only from the channel, but also from my day job. I didn't take time off from this channel intentionally, actually. I wanted to do some videos. I just had no idea how involved setting up a pool is and what I needed to do in order to set up my deck so that the pool was accessible and made sense. So I apologize for that, but honestly, I shouldn't be apologizing because I enjoyed it. I needed a break. We were making a lot of content there, and it's not as if I was getting burnt out, but it's good to take a break. And it kind of came at a good time because there hasn't been that much news with the Canadiens. I think that there's something big going on behind the scenes. Maybe we'll get into some of that during this video. I don't know. We'll see where the direction of this video goes. But before we jump into our video, here's a word from our sponsor. If you're into hockey cards, sports cards, or just collecting in general, you definitely need to check out Slab Sharks. Man, they've got everything. Are you looking for a one-of-one Schaefer? If you are, I think you owe me a couple $100. But they've got your Pokemons. They have basketball, baseball, hockey, you name it. So whether you're looking to pick up a Grail or pick up some Demidov rookies on the offseason, they've got you covered. They've also got their own app, which makes it super easy to submit your own cards, watch your auctions, and track your sales from cards that aren't part of your PC and are just collecting dust. So if you want to support the channel, check out Slab Sharks using the link in the description below. Download the app and see what they've got. And if you got a ridiculous card to sell, tell me about it. Thanks as always to Slab Sharks, and hit that affiliate link down below. It does really help me, especially during this off season. So now, where were we? Oh yeah, the hot takes. All right, how am I going to do this? I think there should be a disclaimer. I don't think that these things are actually going to happen, but if any of them do, I'm going to take full credit for it, obviously. So I've got 4 ponderings, and actually some of these have been floated around the community. Do I really like any of them? Some of the logic I like behind them. Let's get right into it. Hot take number 1. Samuel Montembeault will stay on for the 26-27 season. Everyone's already buried Monty. It's awkward. Somebody farted in the room. They don't really want to smell it. And with Jacob Fowler moving up to backup Dobesh, seems like the spot's been filled. Montembeault is damaged goods. Why dwell on it? But what if Montreal looks at the goalie market during this offseason and realizes that nobody really wants to pay the price for Samuel Montembeault? Canadiens don't need to move him. In fact, they might be better off doing the opposite. Let him rehab, let him rebuild his value, but do it in the backup role. I feel like Dobesh, it's obvious that it's his crease now. And maybe with a backup role, Montembeault can rebuild some of his stock. Let him spend the season reminding everyone why he was selected for Canada at the Four Nations and how he was extremely important during the 24-25 season when he put Montreal from into the mix to over into the playoffs. Meanwhile, Fowler can go back to Laval, not because he failed, but because his development still needs to continue. Let him play out the season in Montreal. When it gets close to the deadline, shop him. Sell high. There's no reason not to be patient, and I know that that's how Kent Hughes thinks. All right, what'd you think of that one? Let me know in the comments. Hot take number 2. Alex Newhook gets traded at peak value. This one might upset some people because Alex Newhook just had the season you really wanted him to have. He was trending towards a 60-point pace before he got injured. And then he came back, played in the playoffs, looked like an absolute animal. And he's fast. He's physical. He can be dangerous offensively. And he's not so bad on the other side of the puck now either. And that's exactly why I think Montreal can move him. The Canadiens are weirdly at the point already where they can stop collecting possibilities and start collecting real assets. The question is, can Alex Newhook be a 2C? They've tried him out, didn't work so great, but after last season and maybe on a different team, a team that's maybe in a different phase, I think Alex Newhook could fill in a 2C role. But the pain point is that Montreal has been looking for a 2C for a long time, and that's probably going to get settled over the summer. Fingers crossed. So he becomes a redundancy, or you put him on the third and fourth line and you kind of stifle him. That's why I think he's the perfect trade chip to a team that's looking to offload and maybe settle into a different phase. All right, moving on. Hot take number 3. Ivan Demidov gets a chance at center. This one's been out there and all right, let me make the case that's been thrown out about this. Hear me out. If Montreal can't find a legitimate 2C, then they're going to have to get creative. The thing is, there's 32 teams in this league. 31 other teams is looking for a different 2C, it seems. Even teams that have a really good 2C, it's like they're still shopping. So if Montreal does have to get creative, who's more creative than Ivan Demidov? Elite hockey IQ, elite vision, elite competitiveness. Those are center traits. The obvious objections are face-offs and defensive responsibilities, but here's the thing, face-offs can be learned and defensive habits can be developed. In fact, Ivan Demidov's defensive commitment last season surprised a lot of people already. This kid is a hockey sponge. If someone from the organization tells him that he needs to become a center in order to help the team, well, he's probably going to be working after hours in Brassard avec Lane Hutson. Yeah, can you imagine it works and he becomes a center? Montreal suddenly has the ability to acquire all sorts of high-end scoring on the wing instead of desperately fighting and searching for a center with those other 31 teams. But yeah, do I think this is likely? No. Still, 5 days in the sun while working on my deck, at least I've thought about this. All right, hot take number 4. Kaiden Guhle becomes the piece that lands an A-tier top pair right defenseman. This is my own concoction, and it's the hottest take of the bunch. So in the comments, tell me how much you hate this one. Because Kaiden Guhle, in a lot of ways, is the player that every team wants. He's big, he's fast, physical, reliable. He can shut down rushes. He can play difficult minutes, and the Canadiens need more players like him, not fewer. But here's the question. If Montreal wants a true top pair right shot defenseman, what are they trading? Because teams don't really give those guys away. And the assets that they do have, yeah, there's some redundancies on D, and we're waiting for Reinbacher. But there's a little bit of writing on the wall for Guhle. And it's happening on both sides, in front of him and behind him. Canadiens have an important decision to make over the summer. With Arber Xhekaj, Jaden Struble, Adam Engstrom, the left side is getting crowded. It's my personal belief that they'll extend Arber Xhekaj. Adam Engstrom, Jaden Struble, I don't know. Engstrom, I feel like, could be used as a trade chip towards a forward. Alexandre Carrier, he was such a clutch acquirement when we got him. But at this point, I think that he could probably be in the last pairing. Noah Dobson, do you like seeing him with Hudson? Do you like seeing him with Matheson? Personally, I like him with Matheson. I find that that's a more balanced pairing, but I'd really like to see Lane Hutson playing on his actual side with a right shot defenseman who just absolutely shuts down any rushes and defensive pushes. So if the left side is more than figured out and the writing is on the wall for Guhle no longer being in the top 4 where he was tailored to be, is there not a good argument to move him to a team that needs a left shot defenseman with his size? I think a package built around Guhle to acquire a right shot defenseman like Guhle actually solves some problems for the Canadiens. And the thing is, Guhle has had his run of injuries. If the Canadiens go out and find a player, it should be someone who they can rely on. I almost convinced myself that I like that hot take. those are my 4 manual labor heat wave deck building ideas for the Montreal Canadiens. If any of them happen, again, I want full credit. But if none of them happen, I think we can all agree that the heat got to me. But I hope that you were entertained at least. And I hope that there's some more Montreal news coming in shortly so we can talk about that. There's been some interesting things happening around the league. John Chaika is making some interesting moves. Joseph Wall sent away for a cap dump, huh? Let's see what they managed to drum up. And they went with Hillier. Okay. Interesting. Not what I expected. Oh, yeah. And I guess the Carolina Hurricane won the Stanley Cup. I forgot to even mention that. It's been that long, huh? Pretty interesting that the Montreal Canadiens were knocked out by the Stanley Cup champions. And despite being the less healthy team, did have that first game that was really good and then had a sequence of 4 games that were difficult to watch. Carolina Hurricane could be around for a while. They're going to have to figure them out. And I do think that the way they do that isn't getting better defensively necessarily. I think it's that they need to understand their offensive pushes and have more weapons, because the shot totals, that wasn't going to do it. That's going to do it for me, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you all so much. I will be back. I think I'll be able to do a video before the end of the week. I just have to build one more part to the deck, technically. It's where the ladder going into the pool will sit. And I'm hoping I hope that we have good weather tomorrow and I'll be able to knock that out quickly. How are you doing? Let me know in the comments. How's June been for you? Hope you're doing all right. Thinking about you guys. Thank you so much for watching. You guys know what to do. Like the video, helps me out. I don't know, with something. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed. I'd love to have you as part of this community. And as always, I will see you down in the comments.